So what we've got here is a Aprilia RS4. It's just a 125. This bike has been sort of like left in the garden for about, I can't remember off the top of my head, but about 4 years it's been standing. So the first problem, it had a flat battery obviously, but when it started there was an exhaust leak. So if I just pan round down this end of the exhaust, there is the problem. So the joint here is basically split completely, and it's split like at the cat section. So they're a bit too expensive to replace, you know, even though it's a 125. So there is a aftermarket exhaust which I've already got. So the next issue is obviously getting this exhaust off. So it might look like a fairly easy job, but it's not. So let me just get this torch set up so I can see properly. So yeah, the bodywork comes off fairly easily. There's a lot of it. There's a bolt on the radiator. In fact, I'll just show you. Yeah, so there's a bolt here in the centre of the radiator which is almost impossible to get to because it's crowded by the plastic. So it's like a, I don't know what you'd call it, like it's recessed. So it's like in an area, a scalloped area, and the bolt goes up here. So it's really hard to get to, and you know, down here it just gets rusted. So it was seized up. So the only option I had was to cut the plastic, because there's just no way of getting to it basically. So that's where the bolt is there, by the way. So all of that, it's not a big deal. So I've got the bodywork off. The next issue is access to the exhaust stud, and there's a plastic cowling or plastic bracket here that you can remove. But to get to these head studs is a real challenge. You know, basically, well, I'll show you actually. So if I just come round with the camera, so if you get a shot of that there, you can see how close everything is. So where are we? Can't quite get the light in, but see, even I can't point the torch directly at that bolt, so that's how tight it is down there. So it's a real nightmare. So yeah, let me just set this back up. So as you can see, if we look at this bolt in more detail, so it's almost like it was like an Allen key, possibly nut. So an Allen key would fit in there, and then you'd undo it. But I think whatever it was, it's completely gone. To get to it from the side, it's a bit tricky because it's sort of like angled. So the angle's not ideal for getting on, you know, a pair of mole grips or something like that. Getting to it from the front, you know, you're going to need a very long drill bit. I'll just measure it, how far you'd need to start coming in with a tape measure. So you've got, if you can get your chuck in, you could probably get, yeah, the drill's going to be, it's going to be like, you know, 110 mil at least. So you need a long drill bit just to get to it, and obviously you're going to be using, I would guess these are sort of M8 bolts, they might be M6, but you're going to need a very long skinny drill bit to get to them. there's just no access, you know, even in here there's just no room to get any sort of tools in, any grinders. There's obviously I think that's a wire, but the clutch cable's in the way, but you could move all of that out of the way. So I think the only option is to get a long drill bit and just start hacking away at it basically, so I think that's what I'm going to do next. Okay, so I've got a drill extension and a step drill, and my thinking is it doesn't matter how far I drill into that stud, it's going to have to be removed anyway, so this will help centre it hopefully, and I think it'll fit through this gap. Yes, it will. So I'm just going to have to basically go into it. It's just not touching that.